Kollins Plays Feed the Beast Monster. Hey guys, it's Kollins. We got a new LP. We're going to do Feed the Beast Monster. You saw me, I put in a seed. Basically, I tried random seeds until I got one I liked. And then used that seed to start a new world. I just wanted to look at someplace where I didn't start in like the middle of a cliff or something like that. But you see me do my 3-wood start. 3-wood makes a wooden pick, 3 stone makes a stone pick. We're in the Stone Age, baby. Yeah, so I saw another YouTuber do this for his first LP series. You've seen all this stuff before a gazillion times. Why go through all this stuff again? So what we have is sped up footage of the first episode, and we're just going through and doing all the stuff in fast motion, and we're just going to do some voiceover and let you know what's going on. So this is the Feed the Beast Monster Pack. This is the new Feed the Beast pack, and it's running on Minecraft 1.6.4. We generated a Biomes O Plenty biome world gen, and there's a bunch of different mini maps in there, and you're supposed to be able to just pick one. And I did REI mini map. I thought I'd used that before, but it looks different. So I don't. Either they changed it or it's not what I'm used to. But we got the REI mini map enabled. There's some of the old favorites in there: Thermal Expansion, Minecraft Reloaded, Applied Energetics. Of course, Chicken Bones got his power converters in there, and chunk loaders, and railcrafts in there. There's a bunch of mods in here that were in the old packs that I haven't actually played with. Logistics pipes, I think we're going to play with that. Red Power has a replacement called Project Red. We're going to play with some of that. And I think we might do modular power suits. I think I showed some modular power suit stuff at the end of my Ultimate series. But we'll probably try to get into that. Open blocks I think was in the old pack, but there's some cool stuff in there. We'll have to get more into the Tinker's Construct. And then there's a bunch of new mods that I haven't seen before we're going to have to play with. Ender.io looks really awesome, but you need tons of Ender Pearls. So we're going to have to find a way to get Ender Pearls. I don't think we'll build an Enderbowl here. I love the Enderbowl, but there's so many easier ways to do Enderman in modded Minecraft that we're just not going to do it. Advanced Genetics looks kind of crazy. And they have this Query Plus, which is like a crazy, like a query on steroids. We'll probably get into, we might try Rotary Craft, I don't know. Rotary Craft also has an add-on called Reactor Craft, and I have that disabled in here. Rotary Craft looks a little daunting, not to mention throwing nuclear reactors on top of it. But the main reason why I disabled the Reactor Craft is because it has a whole bunch of world gen of a bunch of ores that I'll probably never use. So I didn't want all these extra ores in my world that I wasn't really going to use. So we disabled the Reactor Craft. If we need to, we can turn it on and go out and generate new chunks. But for now, Reactor Craft is off. Blood Magic is turned off. It looks a little OP. Internet, we have the Ender Chests mod. I can't remember what that's called. I think that's a Chicken Bones thing. And then there's also the what's the other the energy, or not the bridges, but the oh, I can't think of their name. There's anyway, internet's just another way to do it, and I heard it's kind of buggy and kind of laggy on systems, so I left internet out. Lankanites mobs and special mobs, I left those out. There was a weird thing I saw when I was doing testing where like there's these new things, these gems that I think it's geostrata. There's gems that generate in the caves, and they're light sources. And with that Linkanites mob, I think it was, or special mobs, one of those, it the mobs would basically destroy light sources. And so what they were doing in the test world that I looked at, all the mobs in the caves were destroying all these things and turning them into entities that would despawn before you could get to them. So there was all these cool new things with one of the new mods in the caves, but by the time you got to them, the monsters had already knocked them off onto the ground and they had despawned. So I turned off the mobs for that. I turned off Meteor Craft. It looks like it just is stupid. Like a meteor comes down and there's ores everywhere. So one, it's cheaty, and 2, you build a nice base and then a meteor lands in it. What's the point of that? Special mobs, we turn that off too. But yeah, Ender IO looks really cool. Advanced genetics, it looks a little cheaty, but we might play with that. And then of course the Query Plus, and we might play with some of the Rotary Craft. It looks a little complex, but we might do it. There's some other new stuff in there. There's Gas Craft. Not really sure how that works. Jabba, just another better barrel attempt. There's some cool barrel stuff that this Jabba pack does, so we're going to play with some of those. Mariculture, I believe is what it is. I think that's what all those funky seeds are you can see in the inventory. So we'll play with some Mariculture. Roguelike Dungeons produces these really cool dungeons. I've seen one. I didn't find one in the seed when I was exploring it, so I didn't explore this seed all that much. I really just looked around and like, oh, there's a jungle and there's an open area to build, and that's going to give me the resources I need to start out in. So, and it's not on the side of a cliff, so that's what we're going with. But we'll have to find one of these roguelike dungeons because those look really cool. That's a new mod. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Thermal expansion is all new. So here's my starting out is totally vanilla. I haven't even made an iron furnace yet. Wow. So one thing I found out, I mentioned Tinker's Construct. I played a little bit with Tinker's Construct last time. But that's a Tinker's Construct crafting table. You put a normal crafting table in a crafting window and you get a Tinker's Construct crafting station. And you can see I have a double chest next to it. When you open the crafting station, the contents of the chest next to it show up in the crafting station. So it's kind of like those old project tables. I can't remember what those project tables were from. But those were awesome in like Ultimate. Not Ultimate. What was the first Feed the Beast that I played? Anyway, those project tables were great because they had a little inventory and the recipes stayed in them. They didn't fall on the ground when you closed the window. There isn't really anything that's a really good equivalent to that here, and the closest thing I could find is those Tinker's Construct crafting stations. They're not quite the same though. They are a little buggy. Like, it's hard to get NEI to fill in the rest. You can get NEI to fill in the recipe. Like, you click on a recipes question mark, it shows up in the crafting station. But like, if you have the ingredients in the little adjacent chest and you shift click, it does nothing. But it's still a pretty cool crafting table, so we might do some of those. Probably we'll do is we'll set up another AE system. I really want to play with those logistics pipes though, because there's some really cool stuff you can do with the logistics pipes. And one of the things that AE doesn't do really well is my passive crafting that I like to do. So normally what I do is I have, like, in my inventory system, I keep like a stack of, raw iron ores. And then what I want my ME system to do is whenever there's more than a stack of iron ore, to just process the rest automatically as they come into the system. And the AE does that, but it's really complex. You got to have a level emitter and a ejector, or whatever it's called, output thingy or whatever. But this logistics pipes look like it has a way to do that, and there's some pretty cool stuff you can do with logistics pipes. It's basically a really big expansion on the buildcraft pipes. So all those gold pipes and cobblestone pipes and wooden pipes and stuff. There's a whole bunch of that. In fact, there's another one in there, den pipes, that's been in there for a while, and I haven't really played with that. I think I built one den pipes pipe, the automatic wooden pipe, in my last world. But you can see we're still in the Stone Age. I'm trying to figure out those stupid... I haven't gone caving. There we go. I think we're going trying to go caving. So there's a ravine. Yeah, we're still in the damn Stone Age. I was trying to figure out these backpacks. So you can make a miner's backpack and a digger's backpack, and that basically holds all those damn ores, because we don't have ender pouches and stuff yet. We don't have, like an AE system going from an ender pouch. So, yeah, there's crazy stuff in the when you go mining. There's tons of stuff. Like, I did a test world and went test mining, and my inventory filled up. There's a whole bunch of ores. There's new ores with the new mods, and there's a whole bunch of new stuff in the biome. I think it's Geostrata, but there's all these new, like, you can use the extra, I guess they're like stone. They're like alternate versions of stone. There's I don't think is not one of them. What are we doing here? Oh, yeah. So we're doing the ladder thing because when you're starting out, jumping takes away your health status thing. You have to eat more food if you jump a lot. So putting ladders and stairs everywhere, building paths down to stuff. And I had to get me an infant water source and start a garden. But there's all these new, basically like rocks in the world. So when you go caving, instead of just collecting cobblestone and dirt and gravel and all the ores, you collect all these other, equivalents to stone. There's I can't think of any of the names now, but there's a whole bunch of different stone things. So I built those stupid digger's backpack and miner's backpack, and hopefully that would fill that up. But apparently those backpacks, that backpack mod hasn't been updated for the new all the new generation. So those new rocks don't go in the digger's backpack, but it still keeps your inventory a lot cleaner to have those when you're starting out. Another thing I built, there's that little blue thing. I built a sleeping bag. So you want to make it daytime, you sleep in a bed. If you're out in the world and you sleep in a bed and then break it, you'll make it daytime, but you'll reset your spawn point. So this sleeping bag that I made, which I think earlier I went and there's sheep in this world, but they're a ways off. So I went for sheep and then went back for more sheep because you make the sleeping bag, and then when you sleep in it, it'll make it daytime, but it won't reset your spawn point. So that's kind of cool. But you have to make the vanilla carpet, which is you just take 2 wool sideways, and so you combine carpet and wool, and then you make that sleeping bag, which is that blue square thingy is. And then we're making a bunch of chests to go next to the things. Well, I was trying to figure out, make more ladders. We're still in the Stone Age, gotta make torches. I'm doing the charcoal thing, 'cause I didn't really find a lot of caves close by. Hadn't really done a lot of caving yet. I wanted to set up those backpacks, and you can see all the backpacks in the NEI over there. And then I made a pocket crafting table. But I want to set those backpacks up before I did any serious mining, because I didn't want my inventory to fill up and then start having to throw stuff on the ground. So there's a jungle tree. I had to get jungle trees. That lets me grow cocoa beans. We got an MFR rubber tree. Very vanilla start. Chopping wood with a stone axe. Making a garden. And I was trying to figure out what to do with this garden thing. So I think at this point, I was trying to figure out, I've been sleeping the night away. Oh yeah, we made a boat because we're going back to the jungle. Now we're going to do it in style with the boat. More jungle saplings. So I wanted to do a big jungle tree, so you need 4 jungle saplings, and I brought 1 jungle sapling and it didn't give it, grew it and it dropped 0 saplings. So now we were trying to get 4 jungle saplings. And those purple trees are from the heathland biome, which is that biome I started in. And boat's pretty vanilla. There's an upgraded boat. We'll have to look at that too. And those stupid bat thing. Sakura trees. God, they're annoying. They branch everywhere and they're really a pain to chop down by hand. They give you a lot of wood, but not really very exciting. I like the 2x2 jungle trees because they grow really tall, and they have some outcroppings of wood, but it's not as crazy as this thing. You can see this thing, I tried everywhere to find all the, where the hell are the hidden wood blocks? Because if you don't get them all, the leaves don't spawn. And you got these leaves hanging out in the air. It's pretty stupid. So we started out with the Sakura because there was one right next to us. But I think I stopped doing that, especially once I got the 2x2 jungle trees going. But we got some oak, we got that MFR rubber tree, which I love much better than the IC2 rubber trees, because you just grow it, and when you chop it down, it drops its saplings, or it drops rubber droplets. And that little pink seed, that's the cotton seed that we were looking for. And I was trying to grow the stupid cotton plants, and they wouldn't grow, because that's how you can make string. I didn't even think to not sleep the night away and just kill spiders. But I was trying to get enough string to make those stupid backpacks. So trying to find the seeds, and then I figured out with the cotton plants, like they grow a certain point, when they grow white, you can right click them and get the little cotton balls off of them. But when they grow, right before they turn white, they have a pink top, and if you break them at that point, you'll get more than one seed. And then there's all the new seeds. There's like, I think Mariculture adds seeds, and Natura adds seeds, and there's another seed mod. There's a whole bunch of seeds and a whole bunch of crazy stuff that you can do. So I was playing with some of those new crops to see what they were. Expanded my garden. We're going to leave the middle for sugarcane and cactus and stuff, but I don't think I have any of that yet. Grow some cocoa beans. I don't know what we're going to do with the cocoa beans. We'll probably make biofuel out of it. So there's that new corn stuff. Yuck. Worthless. Those are those stupid vanilla beans. So you break grass, you get random seeds. Those vanilla things grow like in the ground like normal grass seeds, but yeah, they take forever to like break them with your hand. They're weird. But yeah, there's a bunch of new stuff in Monster. I'm excited about this. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Thermal expansion, TE3, completely redesigned. There's a vanilla animal farm. More vanilla stuff. TE3 is completely redesigned. They have a whole new power system, redstone flux, and it's basically one redstone flux is 10 redstone flux is 1 MJ. So like Buildcraft power, but it's even crazier. And there's a bunch of cool new stuff. The new Ender.io mod is really compatible with it. MFR is completely compatible with thermal expansion, redstone flux. So there's some cool stuff you can do with the redstone flux, and it basically is the new power system. Because like in my last LP for Ultimate and Unleashed, I basically did IC2 power and stored everything as IC2 power and then converted it over. But I think we're going to do TE, there's my sleeping bag. We're going to do TE redstone flux and store that. Because you can store it with thermal expansion stuff, you can store it with Ender.io, has a battery, and there's just a bunch of cool stuff. Yeah, we'll definitely have to get into all that. So I'm really looking forward to the thermal expansion 3. MFR did a bunch of updates. I love my MFR. Gotta have me an MFR tree farm. Steve's carts can suck it. Yeah. But there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, definitely TE3 and MFR updates. We got power converters in there. There is no steam converter in power converters. So if we do a railcraft tank, which we'll probably do just because it's an easy way to make big power, we'll have to figure out a different way to convert the steam, and I might have some ideas for that. And then logistics pipes. Red Power has a replacement called Project Red, which is pretty much a lot of the stuff you had in Red Power that was cool. I don't know if there's clips of me in here, but eventually when I get into an actual place where there's ores in the ground, there's like sapphires and rubies like in Red Power that you can make tools out of. So I think I made a sapphire pick or something at some point, and a sword. But Red Power has that, and then all those Red Power blocks that you that do all the cool redstone things like the timers and stuff like that. Those are in Project Red, so that's pretty cool. I think Project Red was in Unleashed. Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, definitely cool. The Quarry Plus, we'll have to get one of those online. Those would be cool. I was trying to think. So we'll do power converters. We'll do lots of TE3 redstone flux. There's a donkey. I don't have a saddle though. So I got chickens there, and I got the donkey thing, and I was growing a bunch of food, and I was just cooking a bunch of ores. I haven't even found quartz yet. Because I went into that ravine over there. You saw that. That was kind of a dead end. And I did some caving. I don't know if that's already been shown or not. But I went into a little cave, and it was nothing. So we're basically just growing a garden so we get some food. And I was just smelting iron because there's a lot of iron in this world gen, so it wasn't a big deal. So I smelted up iron just the old-fashioned way, stick it in a furnace. I was trying to figure out what you do with this wheat, because I know there's another way to do, because you normally take 3 wheat and you make bread. Took me forever to figure it out. What you do, you just take wheat, stick it in your crafting window, and it turns into like a wheat flour or something that you can just cook. And then 1 wheat gives you 1 bread as long as you cook it. So that's what we did for the food eventually, I think. We're just trying all these new foods. we might get into some of that. So there's some plastic for MFR. Trying to figure out which MFR stuff I can build. Kind of want to get a harvester planter and start a tree farm. Even just a harvester. I don't know. But we'll play with some of that, definitely. Lots of Mine Factory Reloaded, combined with Thermal Expansion 3, and we'll combine it with the new Ender IO, which we're going to need a ton of Ender Pearls. I don't know if I mentioned this before. I was trying to figure out, we're going to need tons of Ender Pearls. The first time I played modded Minecraft, I built an Enderbowl in modded Minecraft, which is cool, but there's so many easier ways to do Enderman. So I think we'll do one of the new, we won't build the Enderbowl. That's my original Enderman farm design, by the way. Check out my tutorial if you have a vanilla world and you want an Enderman farm that's crazy, go with that. Of course, now with 1.8 snapshot, when it comes out, those Endermites, I saw Doc M did an Enderman farm. It's crazy. But unless they fix that, or until then, Enderbowl's the way to do an Enderman farm. Yeah, there is no better Enderman farm. I've seen people claim that they have better ones, but nah. Anyhow, yeah, lots of stuff. So the waypoint, I figured out this waypoint now. It was sticking in my face. When I first did a waypoint for my home, it was stuck in my face. Oh yeah, so we did the ravine, and now we're going to find a cave that goes to nowhere. One spider. Some gold. I think there's some copper, and that's it. Yeah. What was I talking about? Oh, I think my tree grew. So we tried some of these berries out. They have no food. There's my 2x2 jungle tree. Now I got wood. Yay. So yeah, this is all vanilla start in the beginning. It's completely vanilla. I mean, there's some mods and stuff. I think at the very end I finally built a quartz grinding stone. Get my, Punchwood Simulator 3000 going. But I was trying to figure out, get me some string, get those backpacks, make one of those sleeping bags. Still trying to figure out the backpack thing. So there's the miner's backpack, and I'm short on string. And then we build a digger's backpack, and that way our inventory doesn't get cluttered up until we get ender pouches and stuff like that. Because we're definitely going to do ender chest and stuff. The other thing I want to do is the Tesseracts now. So the Tesseract in Thermal Expansion 3, I think Tesseract's a Thermal Expansion thing. The Tesseract in TE3 is one Tesseract. There's no longer a fluid and a item and a power Tesseract. It's one Tesseract, and you can actually do all three off the same Tesseract. So we'll definitely play with some Tesseracts, but we'll do a lot of ender chests and ender tanks and stuff because I love those things. And I think they're a little less leggy than the other ones, than the Tesseracts. I just like them. I think it's Ender IO has a remote IO, I think is what it's called. They have these blocks where, like, you have a machine that needs input on like one side, and you place down the remote IO block next to it, and then you link it with the little remote IO wrench or tool or whatever it's called, and then you feed stuff into the block, and it goes into the machine next to it. It's kind of cool. It's a way to like have your machines exposed, but all the wiring and stuff for them hidden. But then you can also do the same thing with Ender IO. Has a whole bunch of stuff where it does inputs and outputs and things like that. In fact, there used to be a mod called Sneaky Pipes where you could attach a pipe to the back of a machine and tell it to grab stuff from the front of the machine, even though it wasn't attached to the front of the machine. So there we go. We're building the freaking couldn't find any caves, so we're stair-stepping down, and we're going to do a branch mine. And I showed the start of it because it was really boring, and I did it all, and it doesn't me come back. So branch mine, the very boring stuff. It wasn't even worth putting in the sped up video. Plus I was running low on time. But yeah, so there's those Java barrels, and these are really cool because you'll see me make one and place it, and then you put cobble in there, and you see I shift right click the bottom corner, and there's a little padlock in there, and that locks the item for that barrel. So even if you drain that barrel, it's still flagged as only accepting cobblestone. It's pretty cool for sorting systems. Well, AE doesn't matter, but like a normal sorting system, like that crazy pipe system I had in my original modded Feed the Beast. like it'd be great because if you drain, you can see right there, 0 dirt. You drain all the contents from it, it still flagged as only whatever in there. So there's, I went mining, got my Certus quartz. We're gonna make a Punchwood Simulator 3000. And I think we're getting pretty close to the end here. So this is the sped up footage for the first episode. When we get into next episode, we'll build some machines and do some cool stuff. Maybe do a little bit of exploring. There's some cool stuff that's in this world that I didn't realize there was when I did the seed, but I went looking for sugarcane and things like that, and so there's some stuff we can explore, and we'll have to do that. So there's my big jungle tree. We're making vine scaffolding, I think. There's a cool thing for the furnace we'll have to do. Kind of a cheaty. It's kind of cheaty, but we'll do the furnace thing. We'll replace our quartz grinding stone, the Punchwood Simulator 3000. I cut the clips of that too. We'll replace that with something cool. We'll have lots of fun stuff for next episode. It's been a while since I did Minecraft videos at all. There's my vanilla hopper and the Punchwood Simulator. Yay. But I wanted to get back into modded Minecraft. I kind of want to get into vanilla too, but now I'm stuck. I'm addicted to the mods.